Okay, guys, we're live. It's as you know, we record these the week before, so I was
Mm,
starting to say it's the 19th, but no, it's not. When you're viewing this, it's going to be the 23rd of February, if you can
yep.
believe it. The last week of February for 2026 really went by quickly. Good morning, everyone. Jennifer, how are you? Hey, we have a special guest in the bottom right. We have
Hey,
Kara
hello,
Kleingarn with
Kara.
Homelight.
Hi, everybody.
Kara, thanks for
Hey,
joining.
thank
We're
you.
super excited about what you're going to tell us about. What are you up to, Jennifer?
I am, as evidenced by this half curl nonsense, I'm down in Orlando I'm not doing the judging, but other half is doing college dive championship judging. Last week we were in Kentucky. I was able to find, I was doing genealogy up there, Kara. So I was able to find Tim's, the next generation back. So Henry T. Jones, which that's a super easy name to do genealogy with because there's not very many Henry Joneses, right? But he was born in 1787. So, and I'm 99% sure I know his father, John. I just have to figure out which John Jones in Virginia is his dad. So it's fun.
Here, a fun fact: Jennifer is a daughter of the American Revolution. So, if you've ever heard about the DAR, I mean, pretty far deep. She can give you some fun facts about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. My daughter's the ninth generation of my family to serve in the military. And I have multiple patriot ancestors who fought for the revolution.
That's amazing. My grandmother's also a daughter of the Revolution.
That means you can be.
Absolutely. You're correct
There you
about
go.
that.
There you go. So it's kind of starting to pop a little bit in real estate, Lance. We've
yeah,
gotten buyers coming out of the woodwork, sellers coming out of the woodwork. The reason we brought Kara on today is because a lot of times those buyers have to sell a house in order to buy, either to unlock equity or to get rid of the DTI situation. And we used to have things called bridge loans and other things, but I think some of that went away during the '08 nonsense, but you can speak more to that. It's just Kara is going to tell us about a possible solution that would work really well for a number of people in this situation. So, Lance, do you want to tell us a little bit about your week, or tell us a little more about Kara, or I'll let you go. Oh my God.
let's talk a little bit about what we're both seeing. We'll fit Kara into that as well in a second.
Yeah.
Um, for those who watch, sometimes there's technical difficulties, and I had a little bit of technical difficulty this morning. So I was blabbing in the background. I tried to get a thought out, and I didn't get it out. He asked me what we're seeing. Interest rates. I was at a meeting on Tuesday, and I stood up for a second, spoke for 60 seconds, and I said, "Hey, everybody, rates are the lowest they've been in 3 years."
They're out the bottom of the door. They're down to 2%.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, wow, the lowest they've been in 3 years." And I said, "Yeah, get ready to hear about that from the news in 2 weeks when they're no longer at the bottom of
Yeah.
what they were, because they're always behind because they have media buys and things like that." And typically, what we see is the cyclical. When rates seem to dip, a bunch of people jump on, and whether it's economic winds that make that happen, or orchestrated things within the markets, it seems like a few weeks later it's on the upward swing. And by the time the news starts talking about it, people start calling. They hear that anyway. It always drives me crazy. But what has happened in the last few days is, I'm not going to mention names, but there's two mega companies that merged that are household names,
Yep.
and one of them's undergoing a huge class action lawsuit, big time. And all of a sudden, they have rates. I don't know. We don't know how they're doing it. We don't know if this is a last gasp to stay in business, but it's impossible. No one can compete. It's almost like monopoly. And we'll see if how many days does it last. I wonder
Are
if this.
they, hold on, are they presenting rates low, 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 like some of the builders were doing low, low, low rates?
No, for the
Okay.
builder to offer a low rate, there was money making it happen. This
Okay.
is, let's call it house money. That's a pun. But talking about
Mhm.
builders, I don't know if they're trying to raise capital through getting all these loans locked and being able to push it through the pipeline, because you can
Mhm.
do that. If you have a real high basis point margin, and that's business as usual, but you want to push a whole bunch through, you could drop it real. People start talking, and a whole bunch of people will get going and jump on board.
Okay.
I've got a few situations that made me crazy yesterday. I can't get anywhere close, so I did what any loan officer would do, and I went to the internet on a couple forums, and I started talking with a few other loan officers around the country, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't know what they're doing." So it'll be unique to see how that happens. I don't like to mention names. It's never a good idea to mention things. I can give you just a little bit to talk about that, and you could figure it out on your own.
It's
Kara,
the Jetsons company, right?
say it again.
The George Jetsons company.
Yeah, something like that. So, Kara, tell us a little bit about what you're seeing. Give us like a 50,000-foot view. We know you're going to go into your presentation in a minute, but what's your week been like? Have you seen for the product that you offer to people like Jennifer and I and clients, or what's your week look like?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting time in real estate as we're going into the spring and summer. We've seen an increase definitely with clients that are looking to buy and sell. We here at HomeLight offer a unique solution exactly for that to not only help, like Jennifer mentioned, to remove the debt to income and also to unlock the equity for clients that are looking to do so, but to really remove the sales contingency. And that's a big thing as we've seen an uptick of clients that are, writing more offers and the market has picked up. Really getting out there and getting your offer accepted is one of those big things that clients are looking to do.
So I'm going to, when we get to talking about some of the numbers and the percents, there are a number of companies that will offer you cash for your home. And no, you don't have to do any repairs to sell your home. And that's 100% true. But I've researched a lot of them. The cash offers that close in 2 weeks, right now, they're hitting at about 60 to 70% of what you would do on open market. The other ones that are taking more of a loan situation or investors that are using not cash funds, they're usually running at about 13 to 15% below what you could get on market. You don't have to do repairs, but they're not offering for your house in a condition as if it was repaired either. And that's what people don't not recognize. So if somebody has to sell their home quickly, we can do it. And you give it to me 5 to 8% under margin, you're still going to make more than you would with those companies. But what I think is a better solution is what you're offering. It gives more flexibility to them at not such a big hit sometimes.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. So with HomeLight, buy before you sell, we're going to be able to put in an all-cash backup offer on their departing residents, which is going to allow them a program period that we give to the client that is looking to sell, the open time frame, so that way they don't have to try to fire sell the house. They don't have to sell it to an investor for a percentage of the actual value of the home. They're going to get that time frame to sell on the open market for the price that they're looking to get it sold for at full market value.
Yeah. And this is, I've also in the distant past used things like this. If you have pets that you need to get out of the house into the new house before you're dealing with this, if you have children, if you have somebody who is ill and can't be leaving the home, this is not just for when you financially need. There's other uses for this program. So I think it's a really flexible situation that has a lot of great uses. And when you're speaking to everything, will you tell us like timelines that we're talking about too? Like,
oh yeah,
if we're buying the house that we're putting in an offer on it, like how fast can they close on that new one?
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
People are going to want to know because, obviously if I put in a cash offer, I can close it. Usually we put it in 2 weeks,
Oh, absolutely.
Diligence. So can you close that house? And that's the other thing too, is if one of my sellers is reluctant to take a contingent on sale, even if it's not my buyer, I can say, hey, will you please consider using this program so that none of us are having to delay? And here's what it can offer you.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And, like you mentioned, it's perfect for those situations. Maybe the clients have pets, maybe they have children, maybe it's just hard for you as a realtor to be able to get ideal showings for their property, to get it sold in a timely manner or for top dollar. So it is going to allow them to move out, maybe get it cleaned up. Maybe it needs new carpet or a fresh coat of paint to maximize the value of that home.
Yeah.
And so that's going to allow them not only a convenience factor, but also to leverage the value there. And at the same time, we can fund in about 10 to 14 days.
Oh, that's
so
fantastic.
Yeah,
I actually am going to talk to a buyer who's interested. They're not my client,
yeah.
but they're interested in my listing. and I'll tell them about this. I'll be like, I'll send it to the agent. I'll be like, have your people watch this.
Exactly. Yep. And it's not uncommon too for us to save a deal. Maybe you have a client that is already under a contingency deadline and it's getting close to the wire, and maybe their home that they own is just kind of in limbo, and they might have to cancel their offer on their new home because it's not going to hit in time. So we can step in and save that deal.
That's fantastic. Would you want to get into the slide deck and tell us a little more in detail with visuals for people like me? I'm going to pop it up to the whole. Is that good?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And thanks again for having me here today. My
sure.
name again, it's Kara, and I'm with a company called HomeLight. So we have a program. It's called Buy Before You Sell. It really is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to be great for clients that are going to need to buy and sell at the same time. They may have a high debt to income due to their existing mortgage, or maybe they don't have enough cash on hand, even though they have plenty of equity built up in their current home. So what we do here at HomeLight, we're going to offer a modern bridge solution to help clients move from one home to the next. All right, if we go to the next slide.
I'm going to remove that banner because it looks like we're going to want to see.
Hold on just 1 second. I don't think it slid for me. You may have to hit to the next, Lance. It's not letting me play. There you go.
All right. So here's exactly how it's going to work. We're going to remove the debt to income. So if we start here at the bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to place an all cash backup offer. That, per Fannie and Freddie guidelines, is going to allow the client or the loan officer to omit that liability of the existing mortgage from the loan app. At the same time, we're going to unlock about 70% of the equity. That's a no interest, no monthly payment bridge loan. The great thing about that is the clients can use that however they would like. Down payment, rate buy down, moving expenses, you name it. Once we have that in place, we can remove the sales contingency. They can go under contract on their new home.
Okay.
All right. So next slide.
Okay. Working on it.
Now, some of the benefits, they can unlock the equity, make a stronger offer. It's really designed to maximize the equity on both ends of the sale. Maybe they can write a stronger offer without being contingent. Maybe the clients are missing out on offers, going against multiple offers. It's a new listing that they really like. So it's just they're getting defeated on missing out. So this is a great way to leverage removing the sales contingency. And then we can clean up the departing residents, sell it confidently. There is data from NAR suggesting that a vacant home will sell for about 5% higher. And then it's just a little bit of a convenience factor too. Some clients want to sell their house first, maybe move out, or they just try to time it with a contingency in place. And it's not uncommon if there is a contingency. Some clients might have to drop the price of their current home $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 just in order to meet those deadlines. Next slide. So we have a 24-hour approval process. We will take a look at the departing residents. We do take a look at the photos of the home as well. And from there, we're going to determine how much equity we can provide and that it's a home that we're going to be able to work with. We're going to get that agreement generated over to the client. That's going to allow them to start writing a non-contingent offer. So if you reach out and say, hey, I have a client, they want to start writing an offer. There's a home that they really like. We can get that approved for them, and then they can start writing offers pretty much the same day.
All right, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So as their list agent, the pictures that you have, that you need, obviously these aren't going to be my professional pictures. These are going to be pictures that I'm just going through and taking to the house, maybe not what we would call show ready. Is that correct? I mean, obviously I can do this at any time, but if it's pre-listing and we want to move out because we want to do some of the carpet or the paint or whatever, these are internally used photographs. You're just assessing the quality of the house and the condition of the structure, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Taking a look to make sure, you know, maybe the value that it's showing online isn't accurate. You know,
Right.
it's taking into consideration any upgrades that have been done. And the photos don't have to be taken by the listing agent.
Mhm.
They can be taken by the client and just uploaded into the portal. If the
I have another question I just thought of too. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you in all 50 states?
We're in every state except for Alaska and New York.
Yeah, New York's got some wild stuff.
Right? Yeah, they're a little tricky with their lending
I've been
rules.
to a lender up there, and they've got some wild stuff. Right? That tracks, as we say.
Right. There are some restrictions with our properties in Florida where we can work. Some zip codes just have some restrictions due to some insurance limitations from some past hurricanes.
That makes sense. Okay.
But what I always say is get the home submitted to us. We can take a look. Can always reach out to me, and I'm happy to speak with my approvals team, and we can take a look at it.
Lovely. Do you want to pop your phone number out there too? I know we've got it scrolling, but periodically just feel free to say
so my
or whatever.
Absolutely. My phone number is 623-526-0205.
Okay.
Can you say that again?
It's 623-526-0205. And then my email address is going to be my first name dot my last name at homelight.com. So feel free to call me, email me with any client scenarios that you think may be beneficial for buy before you sell, whether they have a DTI issue or whether they need the equity from their home. We can actually solve for both of those. So we have kind of two sides to our program, and I can get into what the program fees look like for both. And we can go through a sample transaction as well, just so it kind of all makes sense at the end of the day here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's go to the next slide. So here's a sample transaction for our standard buy before you sell. So this would be for clients that need the bridge loan, let's say. If their home that they're selling is at $500,000, we're going to take a look and see what 70% of that current loan to value is. So in this scenario, that would be $350,000. Mm-hmm. We then take a look at what's their existing mortgage balance. In this scenario, it's $250,000. So the difference of the two is the amount of equity we can give the client. The only way our program would not work for someone is if their mortgage balance is greater than that 70% CLTV.
Makes sense.
We could, however, go up to 80 or 85% CLTV to make this work for them, or maybe they just need a little bit more than that 100,000. So we could take a look at getting them a little bit more equity. But once we've gotten that in place, this is going back to that 24-hour approval process. The client can start shopping without the sales contingency. Once they go under contract on the new home, come closing day, we're actually going to have the client sign with a notary. We'll then wire that 100,000 straight to title and escrow. The great thing about the equity unlock, that's what we call the bridge portion. It's technically a modern bridge in the sense that they're not paying any interest, any monthly payments on this 100,000 until they get it wired to them. And the money's flexible with how they use it. So not all of it has to go towards down payment. They can use part of it to pay off other debts impacting their DTI. They can take up to $25,000 cash back at closing to use for moving expenses. Maybe they want to do some upgrades to their new home. Maybe they want to fix up the old home before it gets listed. So that's however they want to use that money. Then the old house still has to be sold. So we'll actually give the clients 21 days to get the departing residents prepped, ready, and move out of the home. We do work with homes, however, that are already listed on the market. So it doesn't have to be, that they have to list it later. But really, it's up to them. They then also, with inclusive of that 21 days, they have 4 months to get the departing residence sold.
So you have 21 days to have it on the market after you receive your money to close on your new home.
Yep. So the
And
day
you
of
have a
closing.
total of 4 months to get the home sold, including the 21 day.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect.
And that's where we're doing that upfront approval. If we're not confident and the comps are suggesting it's going to take longer than 4 months to sell, we're most likely not going to work with that home. Sure. Because we are just in the business of doing the bridge. We're not looking to purchase the home. But let's say the worst case scenario happens and it takes longer than 120 days or 4 months to sell. That really only does happen 1.5 or 1 to 2% of the time. We'll execute the backup offer. We'll relist the home on day 121 using the existing realtor. So nobody's cut out of the deal. The client will always receive the remaining equity when the home does sell. And we have the client's best interest as well, because at the end of the day, we make our program fee off the sales price of the home. The program fee is 2.4% of the home sales price, or a minimum of $9,000.
All right, so 2.4%. And I'm going to tell you that the price drops that we're seeing to get homes under contract right now is running closer to 5% on most homes that we're seeing drops on. So 2.4 is, half of that amount. So that's really good to know. And you're not really caring what we set the sale price on. You're not dictating that. All you care about is that they're able to pay off the bridge loan money and their existing mortgage. And who cares anything beyond that, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And even if we have to step in and relist the home, we're going to work with the realtor to get it listed at market value and sell it for top dollar. And we'll follow the original listing agreement that's in place.
Okay. Do you find yourself working in divorce situations a bit?
With divorces, there just needs to be a divorce decree.
I can see where if you're having to sell a house in a divorce, this could be a beneficial situation as well.
Oh, absolutely. This is great for clients that are relocating.
Yep. Even ones like I do senior transitioning, and like my grandmother lived with my parents from when I was 5 to when I was 40. And when they bought that house when I was 5, grandma bought it with us. And so we sold her house, we sold my parents' house, and then we all moved in together. So this would be a good one in that scenario too.
Right.
All right, good.
Or clients that want to downsize. We see a lot of it too, where, they have maybe a $2 million house and they then want to buy a $1 million house. So that's something where maybe there isn't an actual, maybe it's just a smaller loan that's involved.
Yeah.
But we can really work with any type of property. We can unlock up to $2 million in equity. And as long as the property isn't on 5 acres or more, that it's not a manufactured home or an age-restricted community.
5 acres or more is good for me to know.
Yeah. Those are the only caveats.
I'd like to add, when you talk about it and where this is a good opportunity for it, the words have been thrown around, so let me throw them around a little bit more. $1 million homes. Kara, we live in an area, and we broadcast from Franklin, Tennessee, and Middle Tennessee. We live in an area where it's not uncommon where people come from your old homestead from Newport Beach or that area, and they will come and they will make an offer, $2 million. Hey, we're going to buy your house right now. And in the past, in that price range, there was an idea that, hey, if we're going to get our house ready to sell, it's probably going to be best to show if it's ready to go. Jennifer's talked to me about that before. A home that is properly staged, ready to go, painted, is likely to sell quicker.
Yeah. So
we went through an idea, either if the cash buyer was coming in, or where are we going to go until we buy another house? And we've started to see that elongate, like what's really available for people. It takes a little bit to sell. And so if you've got a borrower, or let's use $1 million. $1 million is basically, in Franklin, you can't buy a whole lot.
Pretty average. It's a pretty average house.
Right.
Right. So if someone said, okay, I'm going to move out of my house so that I can get it ready to sell, and I'm going to go rent. Well, guess what? For $1 million house around here, rent's $6,000 or $7,000 a month. So
Right.
they're in that. It takes a little bit to sell it. Maybe it takes 120 days. They're out 30 grand plus
Yeah.
the moving expenses. This is a huge. What HomeLight offers is a huge. It's condensing that and keeping more people in their pocket. And if you look at it, 2.4% or $9,000 is a hell of a bargain.
Well, and
Jennifer and I've seen people go through.
Right. And we offer some variable pricing on homes over $1 million where the fee starts at 1.5%. So that
I hope we get a chance to talk about that.
Helps even more. But we also, I did want to mention one other thing. If the clients don't need the equity, we can just simply help alleviate the debt to income. That's a 1% fee.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's huge too.
Talk that through, Kara. Do you have a slide for that? Or can you?
I can talk that through. So let's say the clients are struggling to carry both mortgages. They can bring their own cash for a down payment, maybe recast the loan later, and they're also needing to remove the sales contingency. Then we can offer a solution for that. It's a 1% fee or a minimum of $5,000.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So we've seen an uptick of that. Yeah. It's both sides are great. Depends on the situation.
You want to move on to the next slide? Do you have more slides?
That pretty much sums it up, really.
Okay.
Well, that's, I mean, simple and very easy. We broadcast this to everyone, not just agents. So you may be getting some homeowners who are reaching out to you. So I'm not sure. You can then get them in touch with whoever they need to be on the other side.
Yeah, I love it. But as far as the lenders and agents, we do have a marketing hub. If you go to homelight.com, there are marketing materials for both sides of the industry.
Perfect.
Which is great to get out there in front of clients.
Yeah. Well, I know on one of my listings, we came out of contract. We came out under inspection. But I was given to understand that it was actually because they were concerned that they had not yet gotten an offer on their home that they had to sell to buy. And that we had given them an exclusion of 2 weeks to do that before we had our kick out clause come in, and everything was coming down around the same time. And that agent has reached back out to me that they're very interested. And, in talking with my sellers, I think the only way we would do it is if they were contingent on close, meaning that they were through their inspection phase, or if they could remove a contingency. So when we're done today, I will be calling her up and saying, hey, this is what my sellers have said, but also here's a solution for your buyers. So, maybe everybody can get what they need there.
Absolutely. And they can get approved with our program. And let's say their house does end up selling before closing on the new home. They're not obligated to end up using us at the end of the day. We wouldn't charge any cancellation costs. So it's good to keep in their back pocket, just for worst comes to worst.
Yeah, exactly. That makes complete sense.
Do you have any, Kara, let's put you on the spot. Do you have any questions or funny things you want to hear about either one of our industries? You were a realtor at one point.
Yeah.
You know a little bit of a lot of it.
I don't know. Tell me about your favorite thing in Tennessee.
Oh my gosh.
Weather.
Yeah.
That's a joke. We have very extreme weather in Tennessee.
Yeah, well, a lot like Ohio.
We're moving into you better have a hole to hide in season. Moving into twister season. I've lived through a direct hit of a tornado.
Yep, wow. Tornadoes.
Probably shouldn't live. I love. The summers are absolutely wonderful. We actually have like 8 seasons here, Kara. I'll have to send it to you. But in August, we call that Hell's Gate because.
Oh, why?
We're at
it's
Hell's
hot
Gate.
and humid.
It's so hot. It's almost unbearable. Then we have right now today what's happening, and Jennifer's down in Orlando, but today it's about 70 degrees. We call this cool spring. Because we're all like, oh, it's spring. We'll go outside, and then it'll freeze, and we'll have a nice storm in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But the thing I like most about Tennessee are the people. We're a very kind. Jennifer, she's my sister, and that's a joke, but it's not. We're both from Columbus, Ohio, born same age. we're not. We're different parents. We didn't know each other till about 10 years ago, and we say a lot. We finish each other's sentences, but we grew up in Ohio where people are very direct, and when you come down here, sometimes that's not met. When I came here, people are like, "Oh boy, this guy." For example, if someone's hair was crazy up north, a girlfriend would turn to her girlfriend and say, "Jennifer, you need to go back inside and fix that." And Jennifer would not get upset. She'd be like, "Oh, thank you, Kara. I probably shouldn't have gone outside like this." Whereas down here, there'd be claws out.
Really? That's funny.
But as far as, I mean, my websites, I love my tan home. I was in college. I always thought I was going to move to Asheville, North Carolina. I loved it. My ex's job brought us here to Tennessee, and I fell in love with it because it is very similar in a lot of ways to what I loved about North Carolina. The rolling hills are gorgeous. I camp and I hike and I kayak. I moved down to one of our lakes 2 years ago, so I'm literally on the water. My son's down there fishing right now. He got a 1.8 bass yesterday, Lance.
Oh wow!
And then we're close to get down to the Panhandle. I mean, it's what, 6.5 hour drive. And then, 5 from where I am. Well, from where I am, it's probably 2 hours to the mountains because I moved a little bit south and east. And we've got, if you enjoy food, the food scene is fantastic. The music scene obviously is great. And I'm not just talking country music. There's so much kind of different music. There's wineries. And there are the sweet like wineries that use the Niagara grapes, but there's also what we call the French style that have like, Sauvignon and Cabernet and all of those. There's distilleries, quite obviously.
Right.
My house is minutes from Dickel, Jack, and Nearest. There's breweries. There's so much to do without a lot of pretension. It's not that, I shouldn't say that. There's pretension. Southern pretension is different than pretension elsewhere. Certainly different in California, but it's very good-hearted people still, and I do love that about it. So,
okay,
and I shouldn't say pretension. It's presentation and how you go about life. There are social norms.
Right. I can see that.
Something real quick. A lot of people, we often forget to talk about Middle Tennessee. Wait for this to share this with you. So let's share the screen with you.
It's not like Michigan where you live.
Oh boy. We just lost viewers.
The zoom out.
Yeah. So we have there's so many lakes, Kara, but we have water everywhere in Middle Tennessee. It's all around. It's big lake. The Tennessee Valley Authority in the 50s and 60s and 40s, they built all these dams to provide electricity to power our state. We have a very low energy cost. So here's the Percy Priest Dam. This lake here is amazing. That's Percy Priest. And then we have out this way, we have Center Hill Lake, just massive lakes. This lake has got.
There are no natural lakes in Tennessee except for Reelfoot out by Memphis that was created during the earthquake back in 1811 or 12.
Oh, wow.
All the rest are man-made TVA. And Lance, about the grant. I think it's $15 million grant that TWRA, the Wildlife, and the Tennessee Tourism have put together where they are building up the infrastructure, the boat launches, the shoreline. They're stocking these lakes to make it just a place to go. And Bassmasters and someone else, Tim and I just read, like Bassmasters is like, like NFL, it's like our American League and National League in baseball. There's Bassmasters, and then there's another one. They are joining together for the first time ever for this massive bass tournament. I want to say it's at Percy Priest in October. I think it has a $3 million prize.
Yeah.
Like craziness.
Come on, Kara. Get your license. Come enter the Bassmaster contest.
Right? They're doing a pro-am.
That's incredible.
They're doing a pro-am with a bunch of celebrities and then the bass, professionals.
Is your son practicing, Jennifer?
No, God. Yeah, no. I grew up fishing, and so I was teaching my boys and my girls to fish, but I never knew like what lure to put on at the right time. My dad was like a very good fisherman. Our family vacations were up to Canada to the French River when I was a kid.
Oh, wow, that's
my mom
amazing.
was like, your boat's big enough for the Florida Ocean, so we shall be going down there from now on. And then my other half is a huge fisherman. He is a fly and trout fisherman, although he does bass and others as well. So he's helped them immensely. And I love to see them enjoying that. Not that I mind video games and stuff, and not that they were ever 24/7, but it is so good to be outside. And Tennessee offers so much of that. And even in Ohio, and I love Ohio, but Ohio in the winter gets 2 hours of sunshine on average a day.
Wow.
So for people with seasonal affective disorder, it's a good place to be.
Yeah. I bet, yeah.
Well, what about Arizona? Well, we wrap it up usually right about 40 minutes, but tell us, we got a couple minutes. Tell us
about Arizona.
Arizona's got a lot of hiking. It's different than hiking elsewhere because you go like straight up a mountain.
Oh.
So I feel like everywhere else I've hiked, it's more, leisurely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice place. A lot of wildlife. You'll see like coyotes, javelina, rattlesnakes. So
what are javelina?
Javelina, it's a type of, I think it's like a blind pig, basically.
Okay.
Well, they're not 100% blind, but they have a hard time with their eyesight.
Are they vicious like the Arkansas Razorbacks?
Yeah, they're pretty vicious.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with pigs.
Yeah.
No. Do you have Kupachara? What are those things?
I don't know what those are, but yeah, they have like Gila monsters here. Yeah. Okay. So lots of wildlife. But great restaurants, great scene for that. It's a good place.
I know a lot of people go out to Arizona to retire because they like the dry heat and all of that. People come to Tennessee because it's, we get a taste of 4 seasons, but it's never a harsh winter. And we have no state income tax, which is lovely.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Very lovely.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of golf here. I feel like that's why a lot of retirees like that as well. Yes. So, yeah, it's a good place.
My daughter went 2 years ago to spring break with the family, and they went to Arizona, and they did the Grand Canyon. And one of the favorite things she did was in Sedona. They did a pink Jeep tour. I guess they're really famous for the pink
Oh, yeah.
And they were driving the Jeep, and the guy stopped and said, we've been talking about wildlife. We've seen the snakes here. And he goes, and then and he looked up in a tree, and there was like a carcass of something. And he's like, yeah, this animal, these coyotes, or this particular mountain lion or something will store the carcasses up in the tree. So the other animals get a hold of it. And she thinks that's the most amazing thing ever. I'm like, well, it wouldn't be amazing at night if you heard that going on.
Yeah.
But, I've been out there. It's beautiful. I'm a little envious that you get to do that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We really appreciate Kara. It's so awesome for you to. I reached out. Kara's been really amazing, Jennifer. Daily, I'll get emails from her and just little snippets like, "Hey, you could use this for your client, etc." But you know what? I called Jennifer first and said, "Hey, what if we get Kara, this girl Kara?" Because we talked a lot about what HomeLight does last week. That we need for that. And
the solution for when you're feeling trapped.
Yeah, he was so kind. You instantly jumped and said, "Hey, I'll do it," with just a day and a half notice. So we really appreciate that. And Jennifer and I have talked about this. We're always looking for niches. And this is something I'm going to spend a little time on getting into people. So, golly, you're awesome. We really appreciate you coming here. And we take this recording today and we run AI on it, and it gives us 5 or 7 different clips. We'll get those to you. So you can, if you want to use them, you can use it for your social media. We're gonna be putting it out there. Hashtag. What's the best hashtags to use for?
Hashtag HomeLight. Hashtag buy before you sell.
Okay.
Hashtag contingency.
Okay.
And of course, Kara, anyone that's moving to Tennessee, you got 2 people right here.
Yeah.
Well, they do that.
I mean, it might be on my future one of these days. You never know.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to host you if you come visit. So, guys, what a great thing to post today. We'll get this everyone will be watching this on Monday morning. We know you got a great week ahead of you,
Mm-hmm.
and let's enjoy those of us in Tennessee. Let's enjoy our full spring. So
Yep. Don't let the spring selling season, don't let it get away from you just because you're worried about having to sell your house before you buy. This is a great solution when you see that house, and you don't have to worry about the rates dropping, whatever, like get in the house you want to be in this
what a
spring.
great, what a great.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and end the call, but we'll stay here for a second.